We have Pippijung versus Losira, Game 1 on IC Cup Test Bug. Here we go. Off in the middle of nowhere.
Alright, so Test Bug, here we are again. Whoa, nice shot of the Nexus there. Look at that. What a beautiful building it is. And that building belongs to none other than I am Pippijung, or I'm King, I guess he's called now. Again, the artist formerly known as Pippijung. And look at that, a close-up shot of the hatchery as well. It is Losira, so it is a ZVP. And again, that gas, I don't know, the gas looks kind of creepy. I don't think I'd want to breathe that in. It doesn't look safe.
No, but it does power your Marauder suits, so I think it's worth it.
Well, yeah, I guess. But powers
I'd rather be
roaches
in a Thor,
and
though.
banelings too, I guess, too. That's good. So, here we are in Test Bug again, a map that these players had really not played on at all before today, I believe. Losira really liking that
Extractor trick.
Why did I forget what that was called? I've talked about it today already.
And Pippijung is actually scatting the wrong position first. Not really going to be that big of a deal since he is scatting so early on. He threw down the pylon and then went.
Doesn't really matter where you go. You find out where they are anyway.
That's true. But you need to find out exactly what they're doing. So he is looking like he's going to be posturing for a Forge Fast expansion. Not a whole lot happening right now, as per usual in this stage of the game.
Looks like, again, hatch first from Losira. Pretty standard TV, or not Terran, ZVP opening. Now, what I actually like to do, since I'm sure you're all curious, is I like to go 16 hatch, 17 pool against Terran. Now, obviously, this isn't a Terran opponent, so what I said didn't apply. You got something intelligent to say, Torch? I've run out.
I probably do, but I'm not going to say it now. I don't want to waste it in this moment.
Save that
But we
for
do
later.
have the probe getting chased around by the drone, as usual. The probe was not able to delay the hatchery at all, so Losira is able to get it down in a timing that he would really like. There is going to be a forge going down, and there's pylons going down in the expansion of Losira. He is going to try to go for a forge cannon rush. However, it looks like he walled his probe off, so he's going to have to cancel one of those pylons in order to get him back in, which he just does, and then throws it down, makes himself safe, and gets a cannon. This is really going to neutralize the entire mineral line of Losira's natural expansion. He might actually be able to hit the hatchery as well. I really can't tell what that distance is.
Oh yeah, he'll be able to hit the hatchery for sure. This is kind of a game of chicken. Is Losira going to cancel? He does, so now those cannons are going to be canceled as well, leaving one going actually. He might just let it finish. Losira, though, taking a hidden expansion at around the 9 o'clock position.
Yeah, he does have one cannon up here with 2 pylons powering it. I don't know if that's completely necessary, but the pylons finished before he realized that the hatchery was going to be canceled. He does also then throw down a second expansion, or first expansion, second base. So he is going to be able to get up an economic lead, assuming that the roaches don't come and kill him. But Losira is also going for a fast expansion in a different location. So when you realize you can't get your natural, it's not necessarily a bad idea to just not expand at all. Just try to see if there's another position that you can actually get.
Yeah, no, if you're ever a Zerg player who does decide to go hatch first against Protoss and gets cannoned like that, the thing you definitely want to do is let your hatchery get as close to finishing as possible like Losira did. You know, by doing that, you kind of force the Protoss to follow through and actually make the buildings that they're making and cancel as few as possible. Just because if they're going to prevent your hatchery, you want them to have to spend as much as possible to, make sure that they do that. So Losira doing a great job waiting till the very last minute, and he gets about 350 minerals out of it too. So actually Losira really losing only a little bit more besides time by having to make that hatchery elsewhere.
But he is actually getting scattered here, so
good.
King does know what Losira is doing. He does realize that it is pretty much an even game. Both of them were delayed slightly, one because he cannon rushed, the other one because he had to cancel because of the cannon rush. But these roaches are going to be able to come in and take out these pylons. It is going to be completely wasted money for King. I believe that does give Losira a slight advantage, but not enough to say that the game is in either person's perspective. King is actually on a much higher income right now. However, once the roaches get out and make sure that they can defend the base of Losira. Losira does have the option to either go all in to continue to produce units, or to really drone up hard. These two hatcheries are going to give him the larva to be able to produce a lot of drones at the same time, and he's massing up a small amount of money to be able to do whatever he needs to react to.
Now, knowing Losira, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he does just decide to drone hard. He might attack with these roaches to put a little bit of pressure on as well, but he's the type of Zerg that really likes to get his economy up and running and really likes to kind of out-macro his opponents. Now, as I say that, of course, he does nothing but produce roaches and Zerglings, but trust me, he usually likes to go for an economic game.
That is very true, but he does see that there might be a little bit of weakness here. He might be able to take out the gateway without losing... well, he's getting hit quite a bit here. Oh, there we go. He is able to take out the gateway without actually being hit by these cannons. A little bit of building misplacement by King. This is the first time that he's probably tried this cannon fast expansion on this map, since this is a map that they're not used to on the Korean server. We do have a lot of roaches coming in here, a few links. Not sure how that's going to work against this Void Ray that's coming out.
Yeah, well, the roaches are going to actually be, or at least be able to cause some damage. Stalker trying to pick off that weakened roach right there. The gateway almost going down, and I believe that's the only gateway that King has. Yeah, well, besides the one he's rebuilding right now. But there's a big group of roaches on the way. You kind of ignore the Void Ray, go Mondragon style, and just try to bull his way through the natural. If you can deny the natural and then defend with Queen's back in the name, you could basically not have to worry about the Void Ray. Yeah, it looks like the roaches are going to go in and try to take out the cannons. Probe's coming off the line right now, but that's actually exactly what Losira wants. Oh, nice job with the probe surrounding those roaches, but not really doing a whole lot of damage. Roaches still able to take out a lot of the probes. Actually, I think he meant to attack with the probes, but he ended up just kind of stop moving instead of attacking. So that does happen. More Zerglings coming in right now. This base has been shut down completely. A lot of probes dead. 2 Void Rays out right now, though. Those are going to be able to take down the roaches much quicker. Wow, the pylon does go down as well. All the buildings are empowered, including the Stargate. 2 more gateways being built here, but Losira might just have enough roaches to kind of kill the economy of his opponent.
Yes, and as you can see, that there is absolutely no anti-air defense here except for the queens, which if you don't have 2 or 3 queens in one spot, they're really going to go down quickly to these Void Rays because of the charge attack. So Losira is all in here, but he is doing quite well. He's forcing his probes to run around, and it is a GG because of the unpowered buildings. So Losira goes up 1-0 in Game 1 between Losira and King.
Yeah, a lot of roaches. Definitely good against a Protoss player that doesn't really have a ground army.
Yeah, we saw a lot of cannons being built there, but they weren't able to defend the gateway. Once that gateway went down, it was really hard for King to be able to produce the units that he really needed to. And from there, just got overrun by the swarm. You turn this into a macro.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Alright, so we're back with Game 2 of Pippijung versus Losira in the IM versus IM Clash of the Houses tournament.
That's right. It's Metalopolis. It's cross positions. It's King. Spawning as our red Protoss player. I don't know why I tried to make him sound really cool like that, but I think it turned out. I don't know. Zerg player, Losira, very famous, very good. Gonna kill it in COTH this season. Spawning is the color blue. on the right
Losira
side.
fighting!
Nice, you sounded just like Secret. That was amazing. How'd you do that?
I have a little secret under the bed.
Okay, well, anyway, let's not explore that at all. And so cross positions, pretty good for really potentially both players. I mean, right now in the current PvZ metagame, the Protoss like to have the room to expand and get a big 2-base death ball, sometimes 3-base if they can kind of swing it, I guess. In the meantime, the Zerg players are kind of looking for that weakness and kind of liking that smaller rush distance. Really kind of the July Zerg style. I mean, forget about the finals against MC, forget those. But the July Zerg style that involves kind of smelling that weakness and then going for it, going all in and taking out Protoss, is really kind of the way that seems to be most successful right now against Protoss. So Losira may be looking for that. Again, Losira, more of a macro style Zerg, kind of like all the Zergs on IM, but he has shown as well at certain occasions that he can decide to be really aggressive if the opportunity presents itself. And with a Forge Fast Expand, that's kind of the biggest opportunity that you can kind of get in terms of going all in and being really aggressive early on as a Zerg player. He did also get, what was that, like a 9 pool or something?
It was a very fast spawning pool, so he is going to be able to capitalize on the aggression that you were talking about. The Forge is going to finish. He's going to be able to get a cannon down. King scouted the very fast spawning pool and is going to try to put down a cannon in his own mineral line to be able to defend against something like this. But it really is going to come down to micro, and then Losira is going to be able to put a lot of pressure on King, prevent him from getting the expansion that he really would want to normally do it in a situation like this. Still no cannon going down in the main. This might be a little bit of a mistake. He's trying to defend the Forge. Usually you'd want to just sack the Forge, sack the other pylon in a situation like this, and go for more of a one-base play for a little while until you can get the units to be able to push out again.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see a lot of probes come off. Actually, no, we might not see the probes come off the line. That cannon should handle things just fine. Oh, that probe's being a little bit unlucky. Oh, it gets through. I think it's going to escape. Wow. The luckiest probe in the world, right there.
Just dodge death.
I guess
death
so.
in the shape of little tiny cute Zerglings.
Cute?
They're kind of cute. Oh, very nice pylon
great.
placement. He can't get in there. He's going to destroy the pylon and be able to get in, but only with 4 Zerglings when he normally wanted to have 6 to 8. He is going to be able to get a little scouting, do a little bit of harassment, but he's not going to be able to do anything crazy. There's a little bit of an overreaction by King. You only need to pull off a few probes to be able to fight against the Zerglings. Really, you only need 4, and then when their shields run out, you swap it out for a different one. But pulling all those is going to lose a lot of mining time, is going to allow the Zerglings to just run around the base, be annoying little pests that they are sometimes. And Losira is actually going to be able to get another expansion.
Yeah, I really like that. I mean, he's got his opponent distracted. Should be okay, although there is, cannons there as well, and I don't know if Losira sees those cannons. That could be very bad. Losira's distracted by his Zerglings up at the top there. Let's take a look at the vision that Losira's natural has. I want to see if you can see those cannons. He can't! This is really, really bad for Losira. Oh, no.
If he lets this hatchery finish, it is pretty much going to be wasted money right there. He did go for a very fast spawning pool, so he's already behind in economy.
Too.
However, the harassment did make it balanced out a little bit, but these cannons up are going to make King quite safe, and he is going to feel comfortable expanding now.
And that's bad for Losira. He did expand again to his 3rd already, which was very, very fast, but of course, for his fast expand, you have that luxury in most cases. But his natural is going to die, so that's kind of a big loss for Losira early on. Of course, when a hatchery is building, it does not have anywhere near the vision range that it does when it's finished. So a lot of times Protoss players can sneak in a pylon and a couple cannons there, just like we're seeing right now. And, I mean, really, with a Zerg that goes hatch first against Protoss, why wouldn't you do some sort of cannon aggression? It's just natural. I mean, it's so easy to punish a Zerg for doing that. So I'm a little bit surprised to see Losira do it, but hatch first is in his blood. It's just what he does. So he's going to make it work. He does still have 2 bases. He also does still have 4 groups or 4 Zerglings in his base as well.
So these 4 Zerglings actually let the assimilator finish before starting to attack it. He didn't want to let King be able to cancel it. Because he needs gas so badly, because without gas you can't get anything other than zealots, King is going to pull these probes and get a nice surround on the Zerglings. Kind of a little bit of a mistake for Losira, but those Zerglings definitely did the damage that they wanted to do.
Now, if we take a look at this third base for Losira, he only has a couple drones there, not terribly well saturated. He needs to be kind of careful when moving drones across there, too, that he doesn't get those within range of the cannons. Very, very dangerous. And right now the worker count's still about even. Losira going for his lair. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Mutalisks in the near future. He may also decide just to go for Hydras too. They're pretty good at taking out cannons and things like that. But again, it's a very long way for them to walk as well. In fact, where he's moving those Overlords, he could also just Nidus as well.
It would be interesting to see a Nidus in this game.
It'd be cool.
The cannons afford a very strong front defense, but you do lack mobility and you lack defense in the rest of your base. So something like Nidus would actually be a really good idea in a situation like this.
Yep. Now we do see Losira producing a Roach Warren, but maybe that's just because he wants to put roaches through the Night's Wing.
That is very true.
You can assume, right?
And the lair is done, so now we're going to see what tech he does decide to do in a little bit. It might just be upgrades for the roaches. Oh,
Nidus
and there's a
worm.
Nidus!
Yes!
Are you sure you didn't steal these replays from me and watch them?
No,
already?
I am just getting that good at analysis. I saw those Overlords heading over there, and I thought if I was playing Zerg, if I was in this position, I would Nidus.
It's very good.
I love Losira. He's my favorite Zerg right now. I'm sorry, Leonok. You and me are breaking up.
Leonak's got to finish school and get outside a bit.
A little bit too young.
That is a lot of gateways there.
You know what, though? They're not going to be finished in time. That Nidus could do a lot of damage. The Nidus network just finishing right now. Are we going to see a worm right away? We've got 9 roaches popping right now. And here we go. Where's the Nidus worm, Losira? This is the timing. There it is. And the question is he going to see it? He does not know the Nidus worm is coming.
There are a lot of gateways on the field, but there's only 1 Stalker and 1 Sentry out right now. They're just being turned into warp gates, so he's going to be able to warp in a lot of units because of the surplus of minerals. But it's not going to matter because there's going to be a stream of Zerg units coming into the main base of King here. Losira is going to do a lot of damage, be able to almost take out his Stalker before it even warps in. Didn't even get to taste the air of this Earth or of this Metalopolis. I don't know if you'd want to, but before it died. Now there's a ton of Zerglings coming out. We do see a large number of reinforcements coming as well as attack upgrades for the Zerg.
Alright, Roach Speed did just finish right now as well, and that's exactly what it needs to get that concave. Zergling Speed still not finished, but they're still going to be able to put some pressure on there as well. Losira should be able to take out these roaches, I believe, burrowing to try to regain some health, but again, I think that's just within cannon range. So actually, Losira might need to pull back a little bit. Yep, losing that first Nidus worm. He could always bring in more a little bit later here, and he could also push the front too. The one thing he needs to worry about, though, or not Losira needs to worry about, the King needs to worry about, are of course those roaches burrowed in his main. Nice job by King trying to bring in more Zealots. Looks like he maybe was able to cancel another hatchery, but Losira able to take out those cannons. Those
and because those pylons did go down, King is actually supply block temporarily, so he can't utilize all of these gateways that he did build. He's getting a bunch of pylons up now. He's also getting a robotics facility so that he can get the observer to be able to kill these burrowed roaches here. However, he's also getting 2 robotics facilities, so he's probably going more for Immortals or possibly Colossi in a little bit, which would be very good since the Hydra Den that's out somewhere. Nope, no Hydra Den.
I would guess probably Immortals, because he is seeing that just Matt's Roach right now. Now, +2 weapon attacks is getting pretty close to finishing. Overlord speed is started for Losira as well. Here comes a pretty big amount of Roaches, and if those Stalkers get pulled away from the main base, the burrowed ones can unburrow and do a lot of damage there as well. Looks like some laughing going on between the 2 players. The Cybernetics core goes down, and so no more Stalkers right now for our Protoss player, but he's already got a pretty big amount of them. Losira does need to pull back, temporarily anyway. And here come the unburrowed Roaches. And they're going to go after the Extractor? Yeah, going after the drones on gas, or the probes on gas, rather. Those are good ones to go after because sometimes the players do forget to put them back in gas. It does happen even at the pro levels, expanding to the gold as well. Losira, I really feel like he's on top of this game, although he will eventually have to contend with that huge army that the Protoss player is starting to kind of mass up.
Yeah, and he's just using these roaches with their speed just to be annoying, not really do any serious damage.
That Immortal's lost. He's not quite sure what to do.
Get in the gas,
right.
hide a little bit.
Immortal's like, oh, they're not behind there. Oh, oh, there they are. All right. Nope. Roaches dying very, very quickly to the Immortal. And yeah, so again, King's safe for now, but he's going to have to worry constantly about the threat of the Nidus for the rest of the game. He's going to have to worry about burrowed roaches. And he's going to have to worry that he is 30 Harvesters behind right now. Losira is taking the map and just might take this game.
The Colossi coming out, if he can actually get a large number of them, might be able to do a little bit. However, the Spire from Losira is almost finished. Once that is, it is finished. He's able to get out Mutas to do some harassment to keep King in his base, or he's able to counter the Colossi as soon as he does see them come out. You can get a lot of Corruptors really quickly as long as you have the gas saved up.
Oh boy, here comes the army though. Is Losira going to be able to defend it? It looks like the gold has been spotted. I think this gold base is going to die very, very quickly, about as fast as that Queen just went down. Yeah, so Losira not able to save the gold base, but still a pretty decent sized army. Blink has not been researched yet for the Stalkers, so they are vulnerable. There are 4 Immortals though mixed in with that. And that's going to make things very different, or difficult rather, for the Roaches. But there are 15 Mutalisks in production. A lot of them finishing already. And yeah, like you said, Torch, a lot of harassment with the Mutalisks. That'll give Losira the time to build up that Roach army where he can finally kind of engage the Protoss.
And it's really going to come down to economy now, because there's going to be a lot of Mutas coming out on the field, which don't do terribly well against Stalkers 1-to-1. But when you get a whole lot of them and you can just continually produce them, it's going to be pretty good. This is perfect timing, though. He is going to be able to come out and take down the Spine Crawlers before they get rooted. Not the best position for Losira. However, he does have a lot of Roaches here. And a lot of Mutalisks are going to be coming into this fight. That's 16, only 1 dying so far. If the Stalkers go down quickly to the Roaches, he's going to be able to overwhelm everything else with the Mutalisks.
Might just be enough. Drones coming off the line. Losira did lose a lot of gathers, but he's already so far ahead. It might be okay. Roaches getting a nice concave. Still a good amount of Mutas left over. The Immortals just tearing apart the Roaches, though. But more Stalkers coming in for King. Speedlings trying to engage, but it's just going to be too much. I think Losira might lose his base. He's producing a lot of Mutas. He's producing a lot of Lings. And without any sentries there, that might be enough. More units getting warped in. It's going to be very, very close. Here comes all the Lings and more Mutas. Mutas really need to be targeting those Immortals, I feel. But it's not. It's so close right now. Spine Crawlers poking away at the Immortals. Only 1 left. And more. Yeah, just too many Stalkers being warped in. It's just going to be too tough, I think, for Losira to handle. He has to fall back and lose his 3rd. So wow, a really, really strong composition from King, able to kind of roll back across the map, even being down so far in the map.
That was really perfect timing for King to be coming in. If those Spine Crawlers were rooted, he would have had a lot more trouble than he actually did. He is trading armies here, but that is exactly what he needed to do at this point in the game. He dropped it down from almost 4 base from the Zerg down to 2, making it completely even on the economy. But there are still a lot of Mutalisks on the field, so they are going to be able to counterattack and be a little bit harassed, well, very harassing. These Speedlings are going to be able to clean up these this last wave of Stalkers. It would have been nice to see this army actually be made in the base of King, since here they're just going to be taken out relatively easily.
Losira, those Zerglings able to kind of swing this back a little bit. What's the army tab look like right now? I want to see who's ahead.
0-0 for King.
Wow, no income at all. Both bases mined out. I think we might see an all-in pretty soon here. Oh, never mind. I think we might see a drone transfer or a probe transfer, or whatever Protoss players transfer around.
Yeah, so as I was saying, that last wave that King did, King warped in at the front, it really did do no damage, and at this point he needed to come back and reinforce his main army. Without that main army to defend his main base, he's going to lose a lot of these outlying buildings to the Mutalisk mass, and these Mutalisks are actually able to just take this army on straight up if they wanted to.
Yeah, I like though that Losira is being careful. He's such a methodical Zerg. He wants to be very, very careful. Twilight Council going down. Uh-oh. Usually when you see a Twilight Council at this stage in the game, it's, well, it could be Blink Stalkers, but I've got a feeling we're going to see something crazy like DTs, because he's going to need something crazy like that to get back in the game. These mutas are going to be able to take down a lot of probes here. The cannon's just not in range. A couple Stalkers being warped in, but they're going to die very, very quickly. Those mutas do need to make a run for it. Nice reactions by Losira, keeping those Mutalisks alive. And again, Losira just really keeping the Protoss player in his base right now.
Not only keeping him in his base, but keeping him to only 2 bases,
Yeah.
one of which is mining, the other one is almost completely mined out.
Looks like I was wrong. I can call the Nidus, but I can't call Blink after there's already a ton of Stalkers out on the map. There you go.
Yeah, you really do need the Blink to be able to counteract the Mutalisks on the field. Mutalisks are very fast and very agile, so the Blink allows you to react a bit better to any sort of harassment that's coming from them.
Yeah, not to mention it's a lot better and more cost-effective against roaches than Immortals are as well. It's much cheaper to hit the Blink button than to hit the Build Immortal button. And yeah, Stalkers themselves are cheaper as well. So more mutas on the way for Losira. Still trying to do some harassment, killing a lot of probes again. It might even be worth him to sack those mutas. Yeah, 63 to 21 harvesters. Losira can actually afford to throw away units right now. I never recommend it, but I mean he can afford it. He's got, you know, what it takes to handle the army that's out on the field right now. All he needs to do is prevent that army from really getting much bigger.
Yeah, and it's 141 supply to 57.
Yeah, here comes the last group of Stalkers. This, I think, is going to be taken down by Losira pretty easily. And from that point on, it should be GG Town.
Yes, it
Not to get too
indeed.
far ahead of myself, but
Well,
GG Town.
not to get too far ahead of yourself, but that is a very large Zergling and Mutalisk army right there. Those Mutalisks alone would probably be able to take out these Stalkers, but the Zerglings just seal the deal.
trying to blink, but it's just not going to be enough. Mutalisk chasing the Stalkers back without many reinforcements. It's going to be pretty easy for the Mutalisks to pick those off. Mutalisks showing that Stalkers are fast, Mutas are faster. Losira stopping, doesn't matter. Blade Worm hits 3 things, so hey, why not? Oh, here come the Lynx. They're a little bit late to the party, but hey, they can't fly, so even though they have Lynx. GG, there it is. Losira takes game 2.